You know that feeling of overwhelm, of stress. You need to make a decision, but you just don't know what to choose. Your thoughts are spiraling and the clock is ticking. My dear fellow emotional authorities, welcome to your video and hopefully welcome to the key to your success in making decisions. First of all, we have 4 different types of emotional authorities, and to find out which is yours, you will need to have your chart. So make sure you have it. If you don't have it, click the link in the description, you can create a chart for free. So you're right in this video if your emotional solar plexus is defined. That in general means that you will experience feelings almost all the time. And the pattern in which your feelings occur depends on the channel that defines your solar plexus. As a reminder, a center is always defined when a gate in the center is activated and the gate on the opposing side of this gate in the other center is activated as well, and those 2 gates build a so-called full channel. Then those 2 centers on which the gates, which form the full channel, are located are defined. So please check your chart and look which kind of channel is actually defining your solar plexus center. So if your solar plexus is defined through either the channel 3536 or 4130, then you have the abstract collective circuitry, and this will be your emotional pattern. I will go into depth about it in a minute. If you have your solar plexus defined through the channel 1222 or 5539, you have the individual circuitry, and this will be your mental pattern. If your solar plexus is defined through the channels 4037 or 1949, then you have tribal circuitry, and this will be your pattern. And last but not least, you have the channel 59 and 6, and then this will be your mental pattern, as it is the mental pattern of the source circuitry. So when we look at those patterns, you will always see this kind of baseline or moment of mental stillness, of mental calmness, and then we have some kind of movement. For example, in the collective abstract circuitry, we have this climbing, heightening movement of the energy, of the emotional energy, and then we have this sudden drop. And that's our moment of emotional clarity. I will clarify that later. I want to go through all the types quickly first. When you're belonging to the individual circuitry, you will have this baseline somehow, and then you have this sudden up movement, and then you have this down movement, and then you have the clarity again. Or you have just an pulse up or a pulse down, and you have the mental stillness, mental clarity, mental calm. Emotional. Did I say mental? I mean emotional, of course. Emotional. Clarity. And if you have the tribal circuitry, you have somehow a combination of individual and collective. So you have this rising to the top and then the sudden drop, but this rising is not steady, it's shaky. So the rising in and of itself has this ups and downs like the individual wave. And if you have the source wave, you have no drop, you just have this heightening of energy, and then you have the stillness and then heighten again. Did I say mental? Wow, obviously I mean emotional. I'm sorry. Like I'm breastfeeding. This is breastfeeding brain. I'm sorry. When we talk about these emotional patterns, we are talking about waves, and waves is the best metaphor for this, because I'm sorry that I have to break it for you, but you can't suppress your feelings. and they won't go away. They just won't. You just have to accept that. And for the sake of your sanity and the sanity of the people around you, please try to feel your feelings. And for me, it really took a lot and much work to actually get access to my feelings, because in my case, I had huge conditioning on being too much, being too loud, being too intense in the way I felt. And it also interfered with what people wanted from me, for example, in school or in university. So I was really good at suppressing everything, the good and the bad, in order to be able to function well in society. And I functioned very well. I aced my, like in Germany, we have Abitur. I did like a very good Abitur. And then I started studying law. I was very good. I was like unfairly good at studying law. So I functioned well, but I felt miserable. But it was not like that I was sad, like how I'm sad nowadays. It was just a weird, distant feeling of just not being well. If I would have been able to just cry about it, it would have been much better. But that's another story. You need to be very aware of your feelings. You need to not only feel them, but honor them, recognize them, see them. You must see your feelings as unorganized information. You should never make decisions in the now. You should never. You should always wait it out a little bit. You should never make decisions when you're strongly feeling about something. You should make the decision when this moment of why do I say mental all the time? Of emotional clarity is there. When the wave just dropped. When the ocean is still for a second. You can actually imagine like having a pot where there's like sand on the bottom, and then you swirl it and the water is all muddy and you can see anything. You need to wait so the dirt can sit, and then you have clarity, then you can see. So if you feel strongly about doing something and you think, no, I should not do it, and then you have all these big feelings around it, and then suddenly, it depends on your wave. For my collective and tribal people, it's this sudden drop, and for them, it's actually like, then this is the crash out. This is where they cry, they scream, they laugh, where you have this heightened point, and then it drops, and then there's this clarity. And for the individual people as well, you have this, oh, there are emotions coming, and then they are going, they are dropping, and then there's this baseline again. And at that point of emotional stillness, we want to make decisions. So I'm summarizing it again. Don't make decisions based on what you're feeling right now. Wait. Fucking wait. Gather the information over a period of time. And it depends. Bigger decisions may take a long time feeling in different directions. If you are not sure, you probably did not wait long enough. Sometimes our mind or our environment tries to force us to make decisions now. And that's exactly the point where you need to step up for yourself. And if it's possible, because often we think that a decision is urgent when it's actually not that urgent. And we have the personal freedom, the free will to wait until our system was able to process all the information, because that is actually what's happening. And that's a pro tip, I would say. If you are suppressing your energy, if you are suppressing your feelings and you are not in touch with them, you can't use your authority properly, because the waiting is actually a living process. You get to create this process by actually feeling into the different options, having all the thoughts, having all the conversations, having all the feels. But if you are suppressing the first emotional impulse, you probably won't get to the fifth one, and probably only after feeling those 5 different impulses, from all of them you will get the best pull, the best decision. But if you suppress the first impulse, you will never get to that point. So be proactive with it. Be vocal about your feelings. Write them in your diary. Dance them out. Just honor them. Be aware. You are not designed to make decisions in the now. These are my sacred people, but you are not. Please feel free to share your experiences, your thoughts, your feelings about the emotional solar plexus center as your authority. And I strongly invite you to not believe anything I say and try it out for yourself. Be brave, wait, feel. And I know this is a huge topic, and obviously because it's my authority, I have a lot of living experience about it. And I want to go into depth about it at another point. But I really strongly recommend you try it out for yourself. Subscribe, leave a like, and see you in the next.